And then James interjected with the, I like playing football in his sweet little manner.
Yes.
But, right, on the agenda today, I've got one topic that I'm going to get into straight away that I think there's a story to add to it and we'll move in the right directions with it. And then I'm going to let it flow afterwards. But what I want to start with is a personal account of a lady situation. And I'm going to start with this because as someone who has a very, very vivid understanding of how frightening it can be to approach women and actually like ask someone out, that was a fear that I at least took one step towards conquering this morning.
Oh, really?
So, for context,
Okay.
I was at work. There's a girl who's just started at work. Very nice. We get along very well, actually. And, I mean, to add to said context, if you're someone who I can talk to about the invasion of Iraq and conspiracy theories, you and I are probably going to get along. You know, it's not exactly the most. It's not exactly the most normal of topics. So we get along really well on that, and there was some sort of flirtatious elements that had started to be popping up. She asked me if I had a girlfriend for one, which I was quite interested in that, and I'd been sort of mulling it over in my head for the last sort of week or so of whether she's just being polite or whether she's interested. And I thought yesterday, she said to me yesterday, she said, I'm trying to think of something to do on Friday. I don't know what to do. And I didn't say anything really to that because I've sort of been consistently wrangling with this idea of, is she just being polite or is she interested? And today I thought, if I don't at least ask her, like, what are you doing on Friday then? Have you thought about what you're going to do? I'm going to feel so fucking shit.
Because that's a hint from her, do you reckon?
Well, my thing was, I thought I would rather have taken it wrong and you know, she said, oh, actually, I'm not, you know, I was just being polite, than me go home today and think, fuck, have I let it go? You know, is she now going to go, oh, well, I sort of dropped a hint there and he didn't say anything. He's obviously not interested. I thought, I can't go away from today without at least trying to ask, because if I do...
So that was this morning?
That was this morning.
Okay.
I'm going to feel so shit if I don't at least try.
Okay.
So I did. I said to her, so have you thought about what you're going to do on Friday then? And she said she was busy. And I said, oh, I was just, if you were... You know, I was going to say if you wanted to, go out for a coffee or something. And she said that she was going out with her mum. Now, the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because, as I say, as someone who has a really deep understanding of just how frightening this is, I just wanted to make the point of exactly what it was that spurred me to do it. And that is, when you really want to do something, so when something's important to you and you know that you might be scared, but something's important and you want to ask that girl out or go and whatever it is that scares you, this quite consistently for men, it is going and talking to women. If you take it from the perspective of, if I don't do this, I'm going to feel a whole lot worse than if I get rejected, then that's really powerful. And what I came away from today realising was, irrespective of whether she might have been making an excuse or genuinely is busy, I have the respect of myself for trying. And I think that's something that I'm proud of, and I would like more people to know that that feeling is there, because, as I say, if I'd come away today without at least trying, I would have beaten myself up for the next 2 weeks, because I won't see her again for another few weeks now because I won't be at work, and I would have felt shit. I would have felt like I'd yet again just pandered to my weaknesses and not at least given it a go. And there's a wonderful feeling in knowing that even though you were scared, you still tried. And I would like people to know, just to voice the fact that even when you're scared, if you can sort of frame it against something else and go, well, I might be scared, but I'm going to feel so fucking awful if I don't at least try. That's a really helpful way of getting over some of your fears. And I wanted to, I mean, in a funny way as well, I'm going to attach to this that a motivator is quite a good idea for this, because I said to like 3 or 4 people yesterday, I'm going to ask tomorrow, which held me accountable for one. And then I thought, right, the boy's coming on the podcast today, let me open with that. Let me use that, however it plays out, as an opening gambit, which gave me a sense of if I don't ask someone, you know, I'm seeing the people that I said to yesterday, the people I said I'm going to ask, I'm seeing them tonight because I'm going to work. So they will ask me, did you ask? And I thought, if I come in and I haven't, I'm going to feel so shit. And if I come into the podcast without having asked, the only thing I'm going to be able to think about is, oh, I didn't ask.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think that's good that you've managed to do that, because I think a lot of people just don't, and then they just wait for it to happen, and then it might happen, it might not. And then if I mean, she might be watching this podcast and knowing exactly how you feel.
She does ask about the podcast.
Oh, does she? So she'll just tune in, maybe.
Well, if she does, then...
There you go, she knows exactly how you feel.
Yeah, I'm by no means bothered to make it obvious.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, no, that's nice. As, yeah, she's probably... Because I think at first when she said... I mean, I don't know girl language that much either, but they might just say, oh, I'm not doing anything Friday, hinting hopefully you'd say it straight away.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I think it's quite good that you let her think, and then you messaged her saying...
Oh, I didn't message her.
Text.
Said it to her.
Oh, you said it, so you waited?
I saw her this morning.
Yeah, so, okay, that's fine. And either way, you didn't answer, like, straight away. So it might make you think, like, you were thinking about it, and then she's thinking, oh, he might be thinking about it. And then probably when you did tell her, she was probably quite happy.
Yeah.
But then it's weird that she did then say, I'm busy, but...
Yeah.
I don't know what she was getting at there, but...
Well, this is the funny thing that I said to my mum. It's been the thing I've been thinking about this morning. Yeah. That it's funny with in the context of the fact that I feel rejected, but then you go on to talk for another 2 hours about the deepest of conversations that we were pretty deep in conversation today, and then like just general interest, like saying, oh, so what are you doing on the weekend? What you got planned for the rest of the day? And I said to Mum, I can't help but feel, I may well be reading absurdly between the lines here, but I can't help but feel that if someone had rejected because they'd found lied because they didn't want to see you, that you'd then feel awkward, and that you wouldn't be able to talk to someone as fluidly for another 2 hours, as though like it was, oh no, I'm seeing my mum, oh all right, fair enough, conversation carried on. No, I feel like if there was a flat-out rejection there, that you would have felt like a stop in the conversation.
But if it was carrying on, then...
Well, that's it. And I think my perspective on this is, I don't want the emphasis to be placed so much on the result, because fuck knows what's going on there. I don't know whether maybe she's just being polite, or whether she's interested but apprehensive. I don't know. And she's well within, in case she is listening, well within her realm of sort of her person to say and do as she pleases. So I don't want to sort of make that the point. The point I'd like to sort of just have there is how nice it feels to just have a weight off your chest. Like if I had come away without trying, it would have sat on me, and the anxiety of doing it is now gone.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have to worry about that anymore because I've done it. And as a result of that, it means the next time with whoever it is that this same sort of climate comes about, it'll be easier to do it. It's a practice, it's a rep, and it just gets rid of... There's something Chris Williamson was talking about, of the amount of times we have some form of sort of discomfort in our lives that, had we just done it and got it out the way, would have not been anywhere near as uncomfortable as it is. It's so consistent. Like, let's put it into a disciplinary perspective. If you take a cold shower, or you got a workout or something like that coming up, if you do it at the start of the day, it's done. You don't have to think about it anymore. If you don't do it in the morning because you've gone, oh, I really don't want to do it, I'm not going to do it, and then it gets to 6 o'clock and you spend all day thinking, fuck's sake, I've still got to do that, you could have got rid of all of that anxiety, all of that discomfort of knowing it's still coming, if you just did it. And that was the thing. That was the thing I was thinking about. I thought, I need to get this away from me, because if I don't, it's going to make me feel even worse about this than I already do. And I am sensitive to this topic because I do find it hard. I find confidence something that I have to work for, not something I'm given. So having a rep is nice. And I mean this in no arrogance at all, quite the contrary actually, that if I'm not at all toward the point of conquering this anxiety, by no means, but today I have. And as a result of that, I would like to make the point, because I'm sure there's plenty of people, including myself, that feel like maybe other people can do it, but I can't. Like, I'm not going to be able to jump that hurdle. I'm fucking terrified of women. Like, and I will not. I won't hide that. I am intimidated.
But you're not. I don't think you're alone at all.
No, that's why I wanted to say it.
Yeah, and I think it doesn't even just go about with women. I don't think, because being me, I would be confident with people I know, like a lot of people. But even just when it comes to women, or not even that, like talking to new people, like you said before when you just message people about their podcast, like if you want to come on, you have to jump a hurdle to do that in the first place. And I feel that with me, to be honest. I mean I could, but I just don't. I just focus on myself and do what I'm doing, and then I don't really speak to new people, really. Yeah. I mean, I could, and then when I go into new football teams, I find it easy because we're all here for the same reason, kind of thing. But messaging new people, for example, I barely do it. I don't even do it, to be honest.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I think when I went out to America, I made some really good mates, and then I messaged them a lot, and then I come back and I still talk to my friends here, obviously, but I just think always having new people, I actually don't know. I just don't really put myself out there to do it.
Yeah.
Whether I want to or not, I don't know, but I think I'm quite happy with what I have already.
Think about it. Think about it now. Where do you think it's something that you're... Do you think you're sort of like coercing yourself into feeling comfortable with what you have, even though you would like to
Well, yeah, I think always people would like to find new people and like talk to them, but I'm quite happy and comfortable with what I have, and I'm very focused on what I need to do and what I'm doing. Yeah. So I just keep to that routine, and I'm still fine with that anyway. So I don't think it really matters. I think it does matter to the people that do really need that and want that, and then struggle to reach out to people. Yeah. I think that will be that's the hard thing, because I've got enough people anyway. But with women, but with other people as friends, with even people if you want to get a new job, just to do that, like just even put a message out there or go to ask for an interview. Like, yeah, you just have to have the confidence to do it. But some people don't. Some people do. So you just
a lot of people don't.
A lot of people, yeah. I mean, I don't really. I was thinking about getting a morning job, just because it could go along with the football business I'm doing, the coaching I'm doing, and alongside playing. So I have my mornings free, and then I can still go to the gym, still go to training. It'll be a busy day, and I still have coaching, but I just feel I could be more useful in the mornings, and also earn a bit of kind of money with that. But I'm trying to think about what to do in that sense. Trying to email. I haven't really emailed anyone, but I don't really know what to do. Thinking about working in just a shop, just for a morning shift, but I just haven't really. I'm kind of thinking what to do. Yeah. So I heard as much as people look down on it, and they shouldn't because they're really helpful, is people that do the bins. Yeah. People that do the bins are really helpful to obviously what they do. People always look down on them, I think, and think they get annoyed with the bin lorry in the road and whatever, causing traffic, but they actually earn decent money, and they're down, and they're already finished by like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But that is a very hard-working job for what I also do as well, so I'd probably be very tired. I think I'd rather just, I don't know, work in a shop just in the morning, and then off I go to coaching after school club, then coaching in the evening or playing, and then keep following the football kind of playing dream, because I think I need something to obviously have a bit of money, because coaching there's money, but it's not as much as I would like, you know what I mean? I could have another job and then be chilling kind of thing. But yeah, it's just finding that, and then I need to have the confidence to try and not also think what to do, but ask, like, where should I go and what should I do, to be honest. But yeah,
I'm going to park you just before I respond to that. Can you turn that triangle off, because I think it's going to make you fucking luminous. There's a button by where the curtain is on the further side. Go up. On the triangle.
Oh, okay.
Go down.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, turn that off.
There you go.
Yeah, that would probably do you better. That's better. That just makes you less luminous. I was thinking I want to actually see your face. Yeah, I think I like what you've sort of touched on there, though. That there is still that sort of like apprehension to branch out, because I think this is something that's quite consistent. Is you'll find a way if you think about something too much to not do it.
Yeah,
that's what I've noticed.
I think that's what's happened to me, because I've been thinking for a while. Obviously, there's a new kind of opportunity in the football business that I work for to be a bit more of my own individual person, to go branch out to other schools, do this and do my own, and kind of branch out to other schools and stuff to do that. And I need to think, and I'll have to be answering a lot of emails from people, and I need to see how much time this takes up.
Yeah.
And then if I do have enough time, which I do want to make sure I do, is to do a morning job. Then after that morning job, I can answer those emails, go to the gym, go coaching, whatever I need to do. But I'm just waiting for that to happen. I think it happens in September. Then to see how much time I have to go. For example, I think it would be just doing a morning shift in a shop, earn decent money, and then go off to coaching or something. But I need to have the confidence to know what I'm doing, but also to ask the people.
Do you though? Do you need confidence? Do you need confidence, or do you need some form of bravery?
I think they're similar, but I don't know. I don't think I need it, but I think it's just me waiting actually to see what I need to do, and see how much time I have. But then it'll come to that stage whether I need to speak to people or not.
Are you just kicking the can down the street, where the thing you're going to have to do, as in talk to someone, you're going to have to do it. You can either do it now, or you can do it in 6 months.
So I did speak to someone about it before, and I mentioned it to him to go work in a shop. There's a local shop where then I can go into like an actual business and do an actual shift in a shop, which I think I'd prefer, because it'll be more money than just the local shop. But I just need to wait for the time to do that, because I need to see how much time I have. I don't want to commit to like a big business and then I have all these hours and then I don't have time to do everything else.
I know exactly what you mean. I know exactly what you're getting at, that you don't want to sort of put yourself in a position where you're like, shit, I don't. You almost don't know what you signed up for. I get that, but I think it's quite useful, and this is something that I've sort of like accidentally fallen into doing, is to act before knowing what you're getting into. Let me clarify what I mean here. Almost always you can reverse the decision. There's not many things that you do where you do it and you are now like, if you do this, then this is what you're doing. And fortunately as well, we're both at a point in time in our lives where if you leave a job because it's just not working, you can't balance the other stuff, you've got a roof over your head, you don't have to worry. Like, you can forsake, so you can put yourself into a state of discomfort whilst still being okay, because you've got some of those things afforded to you. I think it is quite useful to remember that you can make decisions like that, them not work out, and you just go again.
Yeah.
You know?
I think, to be honest, you've just reminded me, actually, I did message someone earlier. I messaged him before, but I messaged someone yesterday to ask about the Baller League. I don't know if you've heard of that.
Yeah.
To ask, because he plays in it. He got injured, but I know him because I played against him in the tournament before. And I just had to have the confidence to message him again to go, oh, how do I get involved in this if I want to try, or how does that work? And I was thinking to myself, do I actually message him? Like, I've been thinking for a while, should I message him? And I didn't do it. But then I did it yesterday, thinking, because I think the season's coming to an end and then the trials for the new ones are going to come up. And then he told me, like, literally, he was all nice and everything. Well, like, he wasn't going to be horrible, but then people think that. People think, like, oh, you won't get in, or, not that he'd say that, but, or, like, or just ignore my message and then I'll just be left undelivered or something like that. So I messaged him and he came back really quickly. He came back all polite and everything. I asked him how his injury was. He said he's going to have surgery, and I wished him luck and everything, but he was telling me just if you want to get in, go trial.
Yeah.
And he told me the trials come out soon. Just keep checking the website every week to see if you can sign up, because the places will probably go. And yeah, I just had the confidence just to message him, even though I don't know him on a personal level. Like, I've met him and I spoke to him, but we don't like hang out.
Yeah.
Messaged him, and it was completely fine. And I think people just need to do that, because you're not, as much as people think you're not going to die, you know what I mean? You're not going to die if you just message someone.
You catastrophise though.
Yeah. The worst that's going to happen is they're either not going to answer or they say no.
Yeah.
And it's like, I know that's a cliche and people have heard that so many times before, but it's true. People don't ask because they're scared of being left undelivered or having rejection or whatever. And it's just like, you don't know, like another cliche, you don't know if you don't try.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It might be cliche, but it is true.
It's very
That's why
true.
it's cliche.
Yeah. So I did that, and then it was completely fine. And now I need to check the website, which I didn't know I needed to do.
Yeah.
Something that I know I need to do now, and then hopefully I can play in the Baller League in the next season, and then earn a bit of money through that as well. So we'll see. I think I'm good enough to do it.
I
need to have the confidence in the trials, because confidence isn't just a personal when speaking to people. It happens in sport. It happens in the work world. And just to show that you have confidence really improves your ability when you're doing anything, really. Like the podcast for you. If you're suddenly all shy, as much as you say you struggle with confidence, you don't come across as like nervous or anxious or anything.
Thank you.
And then that brings success to your podcast, because I think if you were, I think you deep down know, even if you're pretending to be confident or whatever, you deep down know that you have to be confident for this podcast.
Yeah.
Because if you're not, it does makes it look
absolutely. You're spot on.
Kind of.
It just doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't
You need
look,
to do it.
It doesn't
you need
look the
to
part.
have that sense of confidence within you.
And even though you're
Well, it's
pretending to have this confidence or whatever, it still comes across. People don't know you're pretending.
Yeah, I mean,
You come across to people now as more confident, which you have completely to me. And I think people don't think like that.
Yeah.
They don't think, oh, he's pretending to be confident. People think, oh, he knows what he's doing, he's confident and stuff like that. And yeah, that happens in not just this, it happens in football. As soon as I've played at very high confidence and very low confidence, and the difference in playing is, I know you know as well, it's insane.
Yeah.
I went to America all confident, played so good at the start, was getting in the team, had a couple of setbacks with the coach, didn't play that good at all. And I still was playing decent in training, but it would come to a match and it'd be like, oh, I'm not playing like I do in training.
The pressure's on.
Yeah, even though my mates and teammates think I'm good, it all came to the coach kind of thing. And if I wasn't thinking that I was good and people were starting over me, I felt like I needed to impress. And it's like, no, you just need to play your game, because you're probably better than them, technically, or whatever you need. If you think you are, you probably are. But my thoughts in my head were thinking, hold on, I'm not starting, so surely I'm not better than them. Knocked you down a peg.
Let me just interject quickly. A certain, is it João Vitinha?
Yes.
Yeah, he didn't play for Wolves, but he's just won the treble.
And he played absolutely insane.
I just wanted to make that point.
Yeah, and he played so good the other day. I don't know if many people have seen this video, but when he set up the third goal, I think it was.
For Douay?
I think it was for Kvaratskhelia.
Oh, no, Dembele put that one through.
Yes, but the play started. I don't know if you've seen it. They had a short free kick, and Vitinha got it. He dropped all the way back, pretty much at centre back, got it back. Played Dembele, got it back. Played Dembele, and then he was through.
Yeah.
And there was like a back heel in there, and I was like, a player with zero confidence does not do that.
Yeah, but that's the thing with confidence, is it does. I'm going to take it in a slightly different angle, because I think confidence comes. I don't think. If you just take it as, oh, you need confidence to be good at things, I think that prices a lot of people out, because for someone who struggles with confidence, you think, well, I'm not confident, so how do I get it? this is where I think it's important that when you're not performing as well as you might have been, or you're feeling particularly anxious, that you reframe what it means to be successful. It's something I will continue to say this because I think it's so important, that on a day like today, when you look at the perspective, I'm going to bring it back to what it was that I experienced earlier. If I was to look at today in frames of either getting a yes or getting a no, then I will come away from today feeling disheartened. If I look and go, that was really frightening for you to do, that was a hard thing for you to do, and you did it, then you can take that and you can use that. That's where confidence comes from. Yeah. I firmly believe that confidence comes from learning how to move from anxiety to bravery. Yeah. And this is where I think bravery and confidence are slightly different, because bravery it's the one emotion that you cannot fake bravery. You can fake confidence. If you do something that you're scared to do, you do it anyway. Yeah. You've done it. That is bravery. You can't accidentally be brave. Yeah. And in doing that, you then gain confidence of the fact that you can do it. The podcast is a pretty good example of this. Thanks to yourself and some other people saying, I don't know what you're talking about, saying that you feel anxious, because I'm not seeing that. Yeah. That makes me feel good. It makes me feel like I can relax, because I think this is in your head. And
definitely.
Don't worry so much.
And I think this then relates to you talking to new people, talking to this new girl, for example. And when you come across confident, I know I'm not a girl or whatever, but it definitely comes across as better. Yeah. Than if you're all shy and you don't really know what to say, and then you're using small talk and it's like, oh, what are you doing later? Or like, you get into that, I know we've all had it before, of the conversations, and girls do it as well, of how are you, or what are you doing today, or what you're up to, and then that's the same conversation you have. Yeah, and that's it. And it's like, it's not that you don't know what to say, it's that you do want to say something, but are you confident enough to say it? Are you confident enough to take the risk? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know what to say. Ow! I got cramp. You know what to say, but it's just like, do I say it? Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And to be honest, yeah, just say it. You've got one in the chamber, you're like, I could say that'd probably be quite funny, or how, and then all of these things, how's she going to take it? Is she not going to like me, or what's she going to think of this? Yeah. And it's like, she's another human as well, she's probably thinking the exact same thing. She's probably very happy that you drove away from the small talk situation and bought a bit more kind of... Who likes small talk? Nobody. Like, we only do it because we feel we have to. Yeah, and the sooner you move away from it, the better everyone feels. And it's so much better. Like, imagine if me and you were just on the podcast just now, and we're talking like, how are you? Yeah, good. What are you doing tomorrow, or whatever? And then the conversation doesn't flow. You feel like you feel like kind of robotic, just answering just the same questions. And you do these questions to new people all the time. Obviously, you have to start with it just to get it going. Like, I'm not going to like ban small talk, but no, it has its place. Yeah, and just not every single day, because that's when people become bored. Yeah, and you can't always do that. But yeah, I think when you're confident with someone else, like what I was going to say before was, your confidence shown to people, and even though you're not confident in person, to this new girl, it's a lot more successful to if you just weren't at all. Yeah. But she has no idea what you were like before, or if you were confident before, or if you weren't. She just knows you as who you are now. Mm. So I can completely pretend to be an absolute knob to, I don't know, anyone, and they don't know what I was like before. That's who they think you are. That's who they think I am this whole time, but then I have mates that think I'm really nice. So it's like, it's all about, I can have the confidence to go and just pretend to be this completely different person in a new group, but then they can have this weird opinion of me, but then I know that I'm not actually that person. Like, anyone can do that. I can go into my new team and act like a full-on leader, even though that's not normal. Like, I can lead, but like, it's not what I normally just play my football and just talk like normally to people, but I could then pretend to be like a full-on captain and like getting people hyped up. But I can pretend to be that in my new club if I'm going to a new club or whatever, but they don't know what I was like before. So
but I think there's quite a nice there's a very nice message in there actually, that when you're going into these new encounters which people are so reliably scared of, that you do have, if you can spin it right, you do have an opportunity to be exactly who you're trying to be.
Yeah.
Because if you look and you go, these people don't know that I'm anxious, they're only going to know if I act in that way.
Yeah.
If you come in exuding confidence, which I totally understand is hard, if you come in faking your confidence, that's the foot that you put forward first, and as a result of that, the next step is much easier, because people now look and go, well, this guy's confident, and as a result of that, it's energies as well, because I think when you're in a conversation with someone, I notice it, that something that I look out for consistently now with the people I put in my circle is, how do they actually make me feel about myself? Do I feel nice about myself in this person's company? And if that's a yes, then of course I want to be around them. And I think what that speaks of is the people that are around you have quite a sort of telling bounce back of the way you're going to feel about yourself. And as a result of that, if you put confidence out, they will feel like you're confident, and they will be confident in you, as in they will feel confident about you, and as a result of that, you will feel more confident. It's the same way, when you'll have a footballer who's a particularly good player in a worse team, they'll be the cream that they are, because they know everyone else is looking and going, we're fucked, pass him the ball. And that makes them feel good.
Yeah, and that's happened to me,
and then
it's happened to you before.
Yeah,
you start doing stuff, especially in small-sided, six-a-side games where you get the ball a lot, and you're full of confidence because your team around you, they're not really, really good at football. They're your mates that you're going to go play football with. And whereas if I then go into a new team, and then all these people play football, and then you're like, okay, I might not be the best, but you've still got to think you are, because as soon as you start thinking you're not, you start, like this happened to me, I was starting to worry about how I should control the ball. Like, the ball's coming to me, I better control this, or else I'll look terrible. Whereas when you're in that sickle side with your mates, you're like, you get the ball, how am I going to beat this guy? I'm going to beat this guy straight away and I'm going to go score. Whereas that message did never come to my head when I was low on confidence. Whereas now, when I was playing before, or if I'm going to go into my new team, I'm going to have that mindset. And even if you don't have it, you've got to keep telling yourself it, like, in your head, because your brain's tricking you.
Yeah, fake it till you make it is absolutely useful.
Your brain is tricking you. Like, I saw a video actually of Ronaldo the other day. Everyone knows how good he is, and I think it was a while ago. It might have been yesterday. I think it was a while ago. He was taking a free kick or a penalty. I couldn't really see, but because it was just zoomed in on his face. And obviously he knows how to score most of the time, easily. But I saw him telling himself, and as much as weird it might look to people, he was saying it in his language. He was saying, you can, you can, you can. But, like, repeatedly until he took the shot. He's telling his brain that he can easily score. And because if he's not saying anything, his brain's probably thinking, oh shit, I might miss this here. But he's telling it, no, you can. Yeah. And I think he's obviously studied that. He's one of the best athletes in the world. He definitely knows that. And it made me think that you can relate that to anything. Yeah. And if all of a sudden, as soon as you go into your shell a little bit, people aren't nice. They just take advantage. They snap you up straight away. People don't care. So
sports is a wonderful example of that.
Yeah, 100%.
It speaks for the rest of life.
It happened to me in a training session the other day. Like, I know I'm better than I was, and then I misplaced a pass, and then I miscontrolled the ball, and I'm like, what am I doing? All my mates were saying, like, you never do that, ever. But for some reason, I didn't feel confident. Even, I think it's because I wasn't starting that much, and I was trying to break into a team, and then you start overthinking. Whereas now, I know for exactly what I need to do. You just got to be relaxed. You've got to just say to yourself that you're good, because if you are what your mates say you are, like all the times you impress them or whatever, or they give you the confidence, they're not lying to you.
Yeah.
They aren't lying, but you'll go into what you do with your mates, and then you do that in the football. It'd still beat all those people that you've just played with who are also very good at football, but it's just different scenarios and being confident in different situations. So yeah, you've just got to tell yourself, as much as it arrogant as it seems, say it, and you're most likely to be better.
Yeah.
Say I'm the best.
Yeah.
You might not be, but convince yourself that you are, and you'll play 100% better.
It's going to do you a lot more favours than saying anything otherwise.
Yeah, and all the other things that you wouldn't say out loud, but they're saying in your head.
Yeah.
You're saying, oh, I might lose the ball here. You're not going to say that out loud, but that's what's saying it. That's what's going on in people's head that aren't confident.
Yeah. And do you know what, actually? I really like what you've sort of highlighted there, that when you say things to yourself, that can go two ways. If you project anxious thought, it becomes quite clear how stupid the thought is.
Yeah.
You know, you'll for instance, I'm going to relate it back to the girl question, not on my front, just in general.
Okay.
That if a guy is thinking, I want to go and talk to this girl, if you were to say to yourself, or even in football, we can take this any direction.
Yeah, we'll do it with the girl.
If you were to say to yourself, I'm sitting here absolutely terrified because I'm worried about going and saying hello to someone. It sounds stupid.
It sounds bad, but this is what people think.
But that's a good way of realising that it's stupid. And as a result of that, that's helpful. And to that end, I absolutely agree with the fact that words of affirmation are another sort of trite, like cliched thing. But when done correctly, are very useful, because it's just... I'm not enough of a hippie to understand how this works, but energy is a very, very strong thing. And when you perpetuate a positive one within yourself, that does come out well. You notice it, that when you're putting... It's like... I suppose it's similar to the body. When you put good food into the body performs well. When you put good thoughts into the mind performs well.
Yeah.
And I like that. I actually, this is going to sound strange, but I don't care. I'm sure you'll understand it. I do talk to myself quite often, because I think when you build a rapport with yourself of the way you're thinking, you understand things about yourself better. And when it comes to something like anxiety, as a result of that, you can then understand how you perform in certain situations. And as a result of that, you can monitor and you can look and you can go, so when I go and play football with these people, I don't feel as good as when I'm playing with my friends. Why is that? Oh, well, it's because I haven't performed as well here, so I haven't showed them how good I am.
Yeah.
Okay, well, maybe let's work on that. And I do like that. I like angles where you can provide yourself with more control, because I think that's where a lot of our shit comes from, is feeling as though we don't have control. Yeah. You know, you can't change the way you're feeling, and you can.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And if we relate it back to football, you don't lose your ability.
No,
you don't.
It's still there.
It's there, so you've just got to be confident to take the risk that you normally do with your mates. I'm not always going to do this, but if, for example, for argument's sake, I can rainbow flick with my mates, I'm not going to go do that, but I still have the confidence to, if it was going to happen, I could just pull it off.
It's not as though you don't know how to do it.
Yeah, it's not.
You do.
Yeah, so you've just got to kind of show... It's really hard if it goes wrong, because you might do something stupid and then you have to then build it up again. But then you've just got to start completely new.
Yeah.
Like, you do. Like, it happened to me. It happened when I was at my club that I'm currently at. And I felt like I took my chance when I first came on. And then was like, okay, I'll get rewarded with this. Didn't. So I got knocked down again. Even though the last thing I did was so good for the team and it won us the game, why wasn't I put on the next game? Or then knocked me down a peg, wasn't training as good. I still train all right, but nothing compared to what I did in the game the other day. And then you start from square one again. But I've realised that And I'm like, okay, game's full of opinions, whatever. Move on. Like, you've got to forget about it, because if you keep thinking about it, you're just lowering and lowering your confidence. So I think I saw Pep talk about Foden about this. Foden will try something and he'll mess up. And Pep would say, I've never seen a player lose the ball and think that he could just go do it again. Foden was doing the same thing, and then he did the same thing and it worked. But a lot of players would just turn around, pass the ball back and keep it.
Wouldn't take the risk.
Foden don't care. And Pep liked that.
Yeah. Mentality.
Yeah, 100%. And you've just got to believe in your ability. Like we said before, your ability, you don't lose it. Your confidence just makes you think you've lost it.
Yeah.
Which is related to anything, and with girls, work,
with anything.
Anything.